You know the big news that happened over the last few hours. It turns out after the ban was put in place last week, a district judge says, you know what, that ban is unconstitutional. Let's lift that ban and let everybody come in from those 7 terror-laden nations. And then we find out after the Justice Department said, let's overturn that, they were told no.
By the Ninth Circuit. But you're dealing with the two of the most liberal courts in the country. Now, assuming that Neil Gorsuch becomes a Supreme Court justice, I see that going down at least 5-4, maybe 6-3.
You think it'll make it to the Supreme Court?
It could be,
yeah. But that's, you know what, Sean, that's years from now if they were to do it, whereas, remember, initially this was going to be a temporary ban. It was going to be 4 months in all, so within 4 months, you'd think that they'd be able to work things out.
But there's a strategy book put out by, like, David Brock, the guy that runs Media Matters.
Sure.
Part of the strategy is they want to tie Donald Trump up in knots, bring him to the courts. This is what the left does. Anything they can't get done legislatively or at the ballot box, they try and get done through the court system.
They've got a game plan to impeach him already.
I saw you. We read the same.
I think we did.
Yeah.
Is there a way that that he will get it to stay? Is there a court that will hear it?
Oh yeah, I think over time everything that he's put in place will happen. They will also expedite it. This was the Ninth Circuit, probably the most liberal circuit court of appeals in the country. So, right where Brian came from, San Francisco.
Yeah, that is not true. I'm from Long Island, where you're
from.
We
lived in the same town.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Sean, I got to tell you, in the big picture, what I keep thinking of is my image of what happened in France. You have this Egyptian screaming Allah Akbar with a machete going up to a French soldier because he wasn't Muslim. He's a radical, an ISIS sycophant, a soldier. That's what Donald Trump's trying to avoid. They got to get better at communicating what his focus is. It's not anti-Muslim. It's called Secure America.
Well, it's not. That was a left-wing talking point when they said it's anti-Muslim. Indonesia, Turkey, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and I can run down the list of 40-some-odd Muslim-majority countries that were not on the list. It's so dishonest of the media to say it was a Muslim ban. It's not a Muslim ban. Here's the choice, though. When we know that these terrorists are being trained in specific countries and we know they want to come here, are you willing to gamble with the lives of these young children and gamble with the lives of Americans? And the answer for me is no. And if some people are inconvenienced, well, I'm inconvenienced when I travel because of terrorism.
What if you were in Nice, France, like that Texas family, a Texas family, father and son in Nice, France, and they get run over by an ISIS driver who took over that truck and ran over everyone he could in a vacation resort.
Chattanooga, Fort Hood, San Bernardino, Paris. We can go across the globe, and there have been so many terrorist attacks. It is, look, ISIS is evil in our time. What the bigger picture is, and a lot of people don't seem to understand, these guys want to advance this caliphate. And the caliphate is everybody in the world converts to their point of view or you will die. We've seen heads cut off. We've seen people burned in cages alive. And there's been so much slaughter. Now they're even indoctrinating kids, and kids are killing other people.
President Trump said it's like medieval times.
You know, when I was interviewing, he said they're just evil. This is, you know, my father fought in World War II. And Nazism, fascism, imperial Japan was evil in his time. This is modern-day evil. And what I don't understand is when you're going to inconvenience a few people versus the guaranteed safety and security of all of these young people, which are our future, why do we care about some people being inconvenienced? You don't have a right to come here. We're being gracious letting you in. All we're asking
it's all about national security. Hey, Sean, I want you to listen. I'm going to read a tweet. Close your eyes. I don't want you to see who this tweet is from. The tweet is from 2015, and it reads like this.
Barack Obama.
No. We must tighten loopholes in the visa waiver program, ensure passports can't be faked, and stop terrorists who want to exploit the system. It sounds like Donald Trump.
Probably Hillary or Obama.
It was Chuck Schumer.
Chucky. Yeah. Look, Chuck Schumer in 2015 wanted a temporary ban. Chuck Schumer, you know, and all the Democrats supported building a wall in 2006. The hypocrisy is it's
So why the tears? Why is he crying now?
Because he's a crybaby.
Right. You know, he voted against the Iranian deal. You know, he voted against that.
I know.
So go up and say, Mr. President, I can agree with you on this. Maybe not tear it up, but let's enforce it. These are opportunities to move the country forward. Why is it always about parties? People are fed up with this party politics.
The Iranian deal probably was the worst ever. Now we have, they're breaking the UN sanctions. They're firing ballistic missiles. Donald Trump said, I am not or Barack Obama. They're going to put new sanctions in place. The USS Cole is off the coast of Yemen. Yep. This is going to be a showdown. Yep. What I suggest may happen is there may be an alliance that we've never seen before in history, world history. You may have the Saudis, the Egyptians, Jordanians, the Israelis, and America take out the Iranian nuclear sites, because the formula is very simple: A squared, B squared, C squared, and that is radical Islamic terrorists. Iran is the number one state sponsor of terror. Right. Coupled with weapons of mass destruction. And that could be in our lifetime. This is a possibility. It's not like in the Cold War.
No.
A radical Islamist with a nuclear weapon, and you could have millions of people die in one day.
Absolutely.